Hey y'all, today I'm going to be sharing some lunchbox ideas. These are going to be lunches that I am making for my husband to take to work, who is a truck driver. So, first up, I'm going to be making him some smoked pulled pork mac and cheese. So, for the mac and cheese, I just made it real quick on the stove. I just boiled some elbow macaroni noodles until they were tender. I drained off the water and threw it back in the pot, and then I just threw in some cubed up Velveeta cheese, salt, pepper, and a little bit of heavy cream. Sometimes I use milk, just depends on what I have, but this day I did use heavy cream, so it's nice and thick and creamy. And now I'm just topping it with some smoked pulled pork. Now, I did not make the pulled pork. When we go visit my parents, my dad either cooks for us or he'll order some takeout. So the day before this, he ordered some straight from Texas Barbecue. It's a restaurant in Richmond, Kentucky. It's super good, and he sent us home with a bunch of the leftover meat. So that's what I used for that. I also drizzled on some of their homemade barbecue sauce, which is also super good. So on days that I want to send him with a hot lunch, lately he has been using this Lunch Ease. It is cordless. You just charge it up like the night before you want to use it. And you can either set the meal time or you can hit the heat now button, which is what I did there. With his job, obviously, his lunches are kind of unpredictable. It's not really a set time. So I was just showing y'all an example, but pretty much I make his lunches like the day before, and then I set it in the fridge, and then we pull it out in the morning, and he can heat that up when he wants to. So to go along with it, I sliced him up a Cara orange. That's our favorite type of orange. And then Josh has got me addicted to these little Kaz bars. This is the chocolate caramel flavor. I never heard of these before, never had them, but he's been seeing them at gas stations and loving them. So gave him one of those, and I also gave him a pineapple juice. We've got a big box of those at Costco, and we've been loving them. And then each day he's going to take his Stanley full of water. Up next, I'm going to be sending him with some leftovers from dinner. I tried out a new recipe. This is a chicken alfredo tortellini soup, and it was so amazing. I will have the full recipe for this in an upcoming video, but it's definitely a new family favorite. It tastes just like a really good homemade alfredo sauce, but with tortellini, broccoli, and carrots. So good. So after we all got done eating dinner, I just gave him what was left, and what goes better with a hot soup than a cold sandwich. I'm just going to be making him a basic ham and cheese sandwich. So I'm using this Sara Lee bakery bread. I went to my local deli and got some ham. I believe this was a Virginia ham. Just gave him 3 good slices of that. And we both love mayo and mustard as the condiments on our sandwich. And I always put it in between the meat and cheese. I don't want it touching the bread, making it all soggy. So I'm just adding on 1 slice of some sharp cheddar cheese, and that's it. Very simple, but he loves it every single time. I'm also going to give him a big bowl of fresh strawberries. A lot of times I do take off the tops and slice them, but sometimes when they look really good like these did, I just put them in there whole. It saves time, and I think it looks nice. So those are the Driscoll strawberries. They are superior. I'm also going to give him one of these Dannon Light and Fit Greek yogurts in the peanut butter flavor. He loves anything chocolate peanut butter. And then he's going to be getting a Diet Mountain Dew as well as his water, and can't forget the spoon. I bought these apple and Gouda chicken sausages from Costco for the first time, and we have been loving them. I've just been throwing them in an air fryer for like a quick lunch. Super good, but I knew that I wanted to incorporate them in something for his lunch, so I'm just chopping those up into bite-sized pieces. I heated up a little bit of olive oil, and I'm just throwing in all of that chicken sausage, and I'm just going to saute that around in the oil and leave it alone for a few minutes to let it get like a really nice char on it. it. I want it to be like golden brown. And I want to do like a fried potato and sausage dish. That's something that he typically likes. So I had some red potatoes in my pantry that I need to use anyways. So I just grabbed a medium one and a small one and washed those off really good. And then I'm going in and just simply chopping those up into bite-sized pieces as well. So by that time that I had that done, my chicken sausage was looking the way that I wanted to. So I'm just getting that scooped up and removed to a separate bowl that I will sit to the side. That cheese that kind of comes out of the sausage as it cooks kind of burnt onto my skillet a little bit. I should have scraped that up before I got it started, but I just added in some more olive oil and a little bit of butter because that's what I want to cook my potatoes in. And that's when I realized that I probably should get some of, that burnt stuff out of there. So now I'm just going to go in and add all of those cut up red potatoes. And I'm going to season them really well with some onion powder. And I'm also going to go in with the blend seasoning by Kinder's. That does have some like minced garlic in it that kind of burns. I didn't really love the way that looked, but I did give them a little taste test and they did taste super good. So I'm just getting all that tossed around in the oil, butter, and seasonings, and I'm going to let those cook until they are fork tender. So while I'm waiting for those potatoes to get done, I'm going to make get his little snacks ready. So here's the deal with these little Halloween mini granola bars. I bought a big box of those back in October at Target, and the kids just really didn't eat too many of them, and I'm just trying to get those out of my way. So something I've kind of been doing at home for myself. I just make these little random snacks. I like to put a little bit of peanut butter on them, and I just put two together to make like a little peanut butter sandwich with them, and that's what I like to do when I'm trying to use something up. I just slightly change it just to kind of get rid of it, but this is a good little snack. So I did give him 2 of those, so that's the equivalent to like 2 regular size of granola bars, and these are the chocolate chip ones with the sprinkles. I'm just putting it in a little snack size Ziploc bag, and that is ready to be packed up. I'm also going to throw in just a small apple. These are the Fiji ones if anyone is interested in knowing that. And I'm also going to give him one of these little beef jerky and cheese combo packs. I got a big bag of those at Costco. He and my daughter loves those, so I wanted to include that. And now I'm going to finish off this potato and sausage like skillet. So at this point the potatoes are perfect. They're nicely browned and fork tender. I'm just going to go ahead and throw in that sausage and just toss those 2 things together for a minute or so, and that is done. So I'm just going to give him all of that in his little container. Just going to dump it out in there. Made a little bit of a mess, but no biggie. I'm also going to take some dried parsley and I'm going to sprinkle that all over the top just to kind of give it some color, bring it to life. I'm going to include a fork, of course. I gave him a couple ketchup packets to drizzle over everything when he's ready to eat it, and he's getting an orange Gatorade Zero to go along with his water. The last 2 lunches that I'm going to be making are going to be cold lunches, so nothing needs to be heated. For this one, I'm going to be slicing up some summer sausage as well as this Monterey Jack cheese. I did want to include me taking off the peel of the summer sausage just in case anyone out there watching didn't know that. This was only my second time buying summer sausage, so that was actually newer information to me, and it's so good. We've definitely been missing out. A little bit after Christmas time at Walmart, they had all of their little, gift sets on clearance for like 50% off. So I picked up the little summer sausage and cheese cracker kit for really cheap. And I thought, I could do a quick little charcuterie board type lunch for my family, and Josh and Riley love the summer sausage on it, so I knew that I wanted to repurchase it and include it in their lunches. So not only am I prepping all of this for Josh, I'm also wanting to include this in Riley's lunch boxes as well. My son will not try summer sausage. He's really picky with meat and stuff like that, but he can definitely snack on the cheese. So that is a whole block there, and I originally was just slicing it up into kind of thin slices, and then last minute I decided to go in and cut it into squares. This is definitely the cheapest way to do it. If you were to go to a store and buy like pre-sliced cheese, That's not like in the wrappers and whatnot. It's pretty expensive. So I can get those blocks for typically around $2. If you have a Kroger, that's where I get the best like deals, and I can usually get those blocks for like $1.49 pretty regularly. So that's super nice. So anyways, I'm just getting that summer sausage sliced into thin pieces. I always save the ones that aren't so perfect and like the little end scraps for myself, and I give the pretty ones to my family. I'm sure that I'm not the only one that does that. But anywho, I finally got all of that prepped, and now I'm just going to grab one of these rectangle Pyrex dishes that I have. I got a big pack of those several years ago back at Walmart. I absolutely love them, and I'm just going to kind of line everything up in rows. So I did a row of the cheese. I'm doing the row of the summer sausage. Obviously, if you're not a fan of summer sausage, you can do any type of meat you want to, anything that you think will pair well with crackers and cheese. I did give him some Ritz crackers. I put them in a little plastic baggie to kind of keep everything separate so those won't get soggy. I gave them 2 hard-boiled eggs that I chopped in half, and I seasoned those with that Kinder's blend seasoning. I think these little snacky type plates are perfect for lunchtime. Again, it's so much cheaper to make these at home yourself, and it's full of protein. It's definitely going to keep him full, and it's just delicious. To go along with it, I'm going to give him some purple grapes. These were perfect. They were so nice and crunchy, and I'm also going to make him a little cherry cheesecake jar. So I'm going to grab my graham crackers, and I'm just going to pull out a sleeve. I'm using an old jelly jar that I just washed and saved after we were done with it. Works perfect for this. And I'm just crumbling up that graham cracker in there, and in my head I thought that I could take a spoon and just kind of mash it up that way and it would turn into fine crumbs, but I should have known better. That really wasn't working out, so I transferred it to a little Ziploc bag, and I'm just going to take my hands and kind of beat it until it's in the fine crumbs that I want. So after I got it to the consistency I wanted, I transferred it to the jar, and this Philadelphia no-bake cheesecake stuff is amazing. I buy it at Walmart, and it is one of our favorite things. It is so incredibly good. So I gave him 2 big spoonfuls of that, and I had some leftover cherry pie filling in my fridge from another dessert that I made recently, and I just layered that over the top. These are absolutely delicious, and they are so quick and easy to throw together. He loved it. And I just gave him one of these long, like, coffee stir spoons for it. And to drink, he is getting an L8. Another day, another chicken salad. I make chicken salad for Josh's lunches all the time. It is just so easy and quick, and it's always one of his favorites. I make it a million different ways. It's never really the same like every time. I basically just use what I have that particular day. So I had some leftover rotisserie chicken. In fact, it was left over from that tortellini soup that I shared in the beginning of the video, and I just took it and chopped it up into finer pieces to give it a bit of a better consistency for a chicken salad. Just put it back in that same bowl I had it stored in, and I'm going to grab a stalk of celery. I only ended up using about half of it, and I'm just going to chop it up into small pieces. I've actually had that celery in my fridge for a bit. I've had it in my crisper drawer, and I was really shocked that it was still like fresh and crisp. It wasn't limp. Like, I've never had that kind of luck with celery. But I just threw that in the same bowl as the chicken. I'm going to season it up with some onion and garlic powder, a little bit of salt, some black pepper, and this Mrs. Dash lemon pepper seasoning really stood out in this, and I feel like I'm going to use it every time I make chicken salad now. It was so good in it, and I just added in a good amount of mayo, and I'm just going to get all that folded together. This was actually Kraft mayo. Typically, like, Duke's and Hellmann's is our favorite, but Kraft is like the third runner-up, so if I find it on sale, I snatch it up. So it's definitely not pretty, but it sure is delicious. I'm going to be putting it on a Costco croissant as soon as I saw those in the bakery. This is my first time purchasing them for ourselves. I have purchased them in the past for like charcuterie boards that I've done for other people, but I have never had them like myself, and they are super good. But anyways, yeah, I just stuffed that as high as I could. Typically, I would like to keep like the chicken salad and the bread separate, but I just didn't stress it this day, and he did not mind. To go along with it, I'm also going to give him a handful of these strawberry yogurt pretzels. Again, got those at Costco, and they are so delicious. I doubt it's something that they keep year round, but I sure wish that they would. So this does come with a little divider piece, so I added that on. And in the top section, I'm going to give him 2 kiwis that I sliced up. He loves those. Figured it would pair well with it. And in the last little section, I'm going to give him some of this French onion dip, because I'm also going to be sending him with some chips that he can dip in that. So I just sent him with the whole bag, put a chip clip on it. He can leave it in his truck, bring it home, whatever. And I also gave him a Coke Zero as well as his water. So that is all I got for y'all in today's video. I do hope that this was helpful for anyone out there looking for some different lunchbox ideas. I hope this inspired you to want to pack lunches at home and save some money. If you made it this far in the video, I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a great rest of your week, and I'll see y'all in the next one.